Ayo, and what is up, gang? Thank you so much for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. It is Saturday, January the 27th, 2018, and tonight you might have seen the greatest wrestling match of your whole entire life as NXT Takeover Philadelphia came to us live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and we are here to talk about it. And we're also going to bring the hammer down because that is what we do, and in a very rare occurrence, we are not very happy with the way this show ended tonight, and we are going to talk about it right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me, as always, is my little buddy, my trusty companion, and the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, Blue the Snowball, and we are here tonight to cover NXT Takeover Philadelphia. My God, you guys, what a show this was. From start to finish, the wrestling in this match was 5 stars all the way through. I was completely and thoroughly entertained by this show right up until the very end. And that's where we're going to begin this show. We're going to begin at the end. And I'm going to get the obvious out of the way. Andrade Cien Almas is a goddamn superstar. He is a superstar and his wrestling ability is fantastic. We already knew this about Johnny Gargano. What I did not know is that I was going to get an encounter that was of epic proportions. These guys put on a match that absolutely nobody in the company right now is going to want to follow tomorrow night. The Royal Rumble, outside of the main match, and even the Royal Rumble match itself, is not going to offer you or going to deliver to you the way this main event match delivered tonight. All that being said, it's time to bring down the hammer. I'm going to tell you guys a little story. I want you to follow along with me because this is one of the best ways I could illustrate how I felt when that match truly finished. No matter how good it was a great fucking match. But imagine you're out on a date, right? You're out on a date with the most beautiful person you've ever seen. Whatever it is that you like to play with, this is your absolute perfect vision of love, right? And you're out on a beautiful night. We're going to call this night NXT Takeover. And you're going to be served a few beautiful courses. Your first course is a great NXT Tag Team Championship match. A nice hearty bread and butter type thing to get your appetite going. What the hell's an appetite? Then you get a nice, very exotic appetizer tray to continue the festivities. You get the Velveteen Dream versus Cassius Ohno, which was one of the most entertaining segments of my life. And I absolutely love the Velveteen Dream. The whole course went down nice and smooth. The night's going on good. You and your date are having a good time. You get to number 3. You get the women's match going on. Women's match. Absolutely fantastic. Ember Moon is made a star. Everybody's feeling great. The show is going fantastic, right? Your date, everything's going fantastic, right? You get to your main dish, the entree, right? Boom. You get Aleister Black, Hardcore, Extreme Rules versus Adam Cole in a match that delivered way beyond what I thought I was going to get to see. They did the Extreme moniker proud. So you enjoyed this meal with your date, right? You took it in, all the violence, all the drama, all the blood, right? Fantastic. Now it's time for dessert, right? So you have your dessert when you see EC3 in the crowd, right? That's a nice little dessert to cap it off because the main event is when you get back home. It doesn't really have to do with the meal when you're on a date, right? So now you get back home. You're ready for the main event, right? You're getting undressed. You're getting all sexified. You're getting ready to do the deed because this is going to be great, right? So now you get it going. And we get the main event. We get Cien Almas versus Gargano. And it's going, and it's going, and it's going. It's like a great round of foreplay. And you're going and going and going, and everything is great. And then there's no payoff. You're built up, and you're waiting for the arrival of that climax. And it doesn't come. You don't come. In fact, you get kicked out of the building and sent home with a big pair of sweaty blue balls. That's how I felt at the end of tonight's NXT pay-per-view. It was a great night. I had a fantastic time. But at that very end, right when you were ready to conclude and feel release and feel fulfillment, they take it away from you. And they didn't take it away from you for even a good reason. Johnny Gargano was pinned clean in the middle of the ring by Andrade Cien Almas. I know the match that they had told a fantastic story. But what happened after the fact, when Tommaso Ciampa decided to come out after Gargano was already a beaten man, after there was nothing on the line, nothing to cost him, no real drama, no real reason for him to come out and attack him in that last minute, when it should have been done during the match. If you were not going to have Johnny Gargano beat Andrade Cien Almas tonight, then he should have lost or won by disqualification due to the interference of Tommaso Ciampa. Did you hear that friggin' crowd tonight? That crowd was boiled to a fever pitch. They were frenzied to see Johnny Gargano win that title tonight. When Candice LeRae jumped the barricade to finally even the odds and get Zelina Vega out of the way, you all knew it was there. You were ready for it. Johnny Gargano was going to win this title tonight. Or Tommaso Ciampa was going to screw him. Neither one of those things happened. So I feel unfulfilled. I feel like they owe me a conclusion. Because what we got tonight was the most anticlimactic ending to an NXT takeover I've ever seen. And it's a shame that that is the way it had to go off the air, considering the fact that the rest of the pay-per-view was just friggin' aces. Absolutely 100% fantastic, with the exception of the conclusion of tonight's main event. Thank you guys so much for checking us out today. Don't forget to like this video, share it with all your wrestling buddies, and subscribe today if you are not already a member of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show family. We have been accepting people all week long. We are growing by the minute over here, and we want to invite you guys to come on along for the ride. The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show is growing stronger and larger by the day, and we are going to take over YouTube with videos just like this one, because we don't hold anything back. I know you guys had a great time. You probably got all caught up, and even when Andrade Cien Almas won this match, you were just content over the fact that you just seen what is most definitely the best match the WWE's had so far this year. This match can top anything that was put on last year. This match may even be better than Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Oh, don't kill me for that one, but it might just be the truth. There were so many false finishes, so many near falls, so much back-to-back offense, big move after big move. It was just a huge match. It's like neither man would quit. It's like neither man could quit. Their bodies just wouldn't give out. But with the amount of damage that Johnny Gargano sustained to the head throughout the entirety of that match, it was only a matter of time before it was going to be one shot too many. I'm just really pissed off that they truly wasted a prime opportunity to get the character of Tommaso Ciampa over even bigger. Sure, he got some boos. They were calling him an asshole at the end of the night. But can you imagine the unrest in that crowd if he cost him the match? It would have been a much bigger moment. It would have accomplished what you wanted to accomplish times 100. The amount of heat it would have generated on Tommaso Ciampa. The amount of hate that the people would have for this character. It would be triple what it was when he broke up with Johnny Gargano and sent him into the Titantron. It started this whole thing off. I don't understand it. A very rare misstep by the storytelling division here on NXT. But like I said, the rest of the show was fantastic. So let's talk about everything else. Right from the beginning, when we had Paul Heyman come out and do that fantastic intro setting up the night, it was absolutely fantastic. It gave me goosebumps. It got me hyped. It got me ready to open up with that tremendous Tag Team Championship contest. The Undisputed Era versus AOP. Nigel McGuinness, by the way, was an obvious absence. As good as this show was, can you imagine how much better it would have been if we didn't have to hear as much of Percy Watson as we had to hear all night long? Talk about an ear grater. This guy was all over the place. He was just talking and talking and talking. Countless times Mauro Ranallo had to just step over him and stop him mid-sentence. A lot of the stuff he was saying wasn't even relevant to what was going on. It happened right at the beginning of the show, when he decided he's going to talk about Ember Moon's match, and then they had to cut him off because the Authors of Pain are coming out. The guy's a goofball. His voice is not good. You know, I might not have the best voice in the world, but I don't enjoy his voice in my ears. It doesn't feel good. And the lack of knowledge he has, and the lack of charisma, and the lack of enthusiasm, and genuineness, I don't know if that's a word, but if it is, there it is. The genuineness of the way he comes across. It sucks. He sucks. And he brought the level of this show down just a little bit for me, because all I could think of is, man, I wish he would just shut up, and I wish there was Nigel there. Imagine Nigel McGuinness calling that Extreme Rules match. Would have made it even more than what it was. It was epic as it was. Imagine with him on the panel, calling the action the way he should be. Unfortunately, Nigel McGuinness was under the weather and did not attend tonight's festivities. That was a damn shame. But on we soldiered, and still, the wrestling was absolutely amazing. Fish and O'Reilly came into this thing with a game plan. And the game plan worked to perfection. At some point during this match, Akam from the Authors of Pain would go up to the top rope and deliver a vicious one-legged stomp, but in doing so, he would hurt his leg. And this injury would be the telltale story of this whole entire match. As at the very end of this matchup, the Authors of Pain would go for a Super Collider, and they would connect. But Akam was unable to maintain his balance due to the amount of damage that he sustained on that left knee throughout this matchup, and he stumbled into the corner, allowing Kyle O'Reilly to execute a Hurricane Rana, sending him into Razor, which sent Razor outside of the ring, and then Kyle O'Reilly, with a flash pinfall on the big man, retains the championships. Absolutely fantastic finish there. I definitely did not think that the Undisputed Era was going to lose the titles. I thought that perhaps there was going to be something that happened. I thought they would be disqualified. I thought maybe the War Machine would make their entrance. They were sitting there at ringside. They made their debut as guests of NXT. But we had a straightforward match, and it was very, very good. This was a clinic in tag team psychology, strategy, and technique versus brute force and physicality. It was a great mixing of styles. There were a few spots that we have to highlight. There was one moment in this match where Razor had Kyle O'Reilly ready for a fallaway slam, and Bobby Fish would come up from behind and wrap him up in a sleeper hold, and the guy would still execute the fallaway slam, clearing Kyle O'Reilly clear over the top of Bobby Fish's head, and then he would land straight back onto Fish, collapsing all his body weight on top of him. It was an absolute thing of beauty. There were so many spots in this match that you just got to go back and see it. If you missed it, what are you watching me for? Go watch NXT first and then come back and see what I had to say about it, because this was a fantastic tag team matchup. Triple H was talking a little bit after the show live on Facebook, and I was listening in just a little bit, and he had made mention of the fact that the Authors of Pain are not done in NXT, so I wouldn't expect too much to see them showing up in the Rumble tomorrow night or on the main roster anytime soon. He still has some plans in play for the most dominant tag team in NXT history, so we'll have to wait and see where that goes. Where we're going to go is we're going to go to the land of purple, because the Velveteen Dream is an absolute dream to watch. You see, the thing that's special about him is the Velveteen Dream creates moments. He doesn't just go out there and give you good matches. His matches are great, and this match was a very good match. But he creates an element of, what am I going to see? I can't miss this guy because he's going to do something that's a little off kilter. And we got that tonight. He started off during the NXT Year-End Awards, right? The fan-voted Year-End Awards. The Velveteen Dream won for Rivalry of the Year with Aleister Black, and during his little acceptance speech, he made mention of the fact that he is going to knock out Cassius Ohno, the knockout artist, in 30 seconds during this match. So that's going to be how it's going to end. And subsequently, Cassius Ohno's dreams will come to an end as well. Nobody took that seriously. Neither did I. I didn't think it was even going to play out or be a thing. I thought it was just going to be something he said, and we were going to go out and just have a regular match. The Velveteen Dream would come out dressed in boxing trunks and come out in a boxer's jacket. You know, the only thing he was missing was the gloves. Cassius Ohno comes out wearing the Pittsburgh colors, the yellow and black of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the yellow and black of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we are in Philadelphia. Now, he's going to go off and probably say he wore yellow and black for NXT, which if that's the case, then fine. But, you know, have a little more sense on where you actually are in the state. Pennsylvania is a huge state. Pittsburgh is literally like 4 hours away from Philadelphia. It's a huge gap. You're not going to get much crisscross, and that's probably why he didn't get that big of a pop when he came out. If he would have came out dressed in the Flyers colors, you know, or dressed in the 76ers faux basketball wrestling uniform, then maybe they would have been all right with it. But you went to the wrong color scheme as far as Pennsylvania is concerned. Anyway, me nitpicking, but I see what I see. And if I don't tell you, you'll never know. So I have to tell you. Color schemes and outfits aside, this match was fantastic. It starts off as soon as the bell rings, the crowd, gotta love a good crowd, starts counting to 30. Velveteen Dream said it was going to take 30 seconds to do so. The crowd obliged with a count so that we could all follow along at home. And at about 20 seconds, Velveteen Dream absolutely rocked Cassius Ohno with a nasty right hand and put him out on the mat. And the crowd once again obliged with a 10 count. The guy didn't get up before the crowd hit 10. What I don't understand, and the only thing that I will nitpick about in this match, is clearly Cassius Ohno was out for a 10 count. Why didn't the Velveteen Dream go for a pin and finish this match in 30 seconds like he said he wanted to? There was a little bit of a logic gap there. But I'm going to forgive that, and I'm very glad he didn't, because the rest of this match was an absolute dream. It was a slugfest. These guys were going toe-to-toe, shot for shot. The Dream's movements, the way his body moves, it just looks... He reminds me of Booker T. When Booker T was young, he just had this unique way, this unique fluidity to his movements. The way he delivered the bicycle kick. You know, like nobody moved like Booker T. And I feel that way when I see the Dream. Nobody moves like him. And his wingspan is unbelievable. The length of this kid's arms is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Fantastic spots in this match as well. There was one very scary scenario when the Dream went to go deliver a Death Valley driver to Cassius Ohno, but Cassius Ohno was running towards him. He would leap up and catch him, and it seemed as if Ohno's momentum was just too much for him to bear the strength of, and they kind of collapsed in the corner, and he didn't truly get that Death Valley driver the way he wanted to execute it, and it was a little scary. It looked a little bit botchy, but eventually he would go on and deliver that rolling Death Valley driver that he does. He would go up to the top rope and then perch himself on the ring post, not on the turnbuckle, but go back one step further onto the ring post, launch himself beautifully like a swan in the air, delivered an absolutely beautiful purple Rainmaker elbow drop for the win in this match. I totally expected the Velveteen Dream to win in this scenario. I was not proven wrong. The Dream is so damn good at what he does that you need to understand something, regardless on what colors Cassius Ohno decided to wear. He's a big indie guy, and a Philadelphia crowd loves Chris Hero. If you go back and watch NXT in Philadelphia, or anything with Chris Hero in Philadelphia, it's an unbelievably different scenario. But tonight, the crowd was firmly on the side of the Velveteen Dream, and that is a credit to him, that he got them to turn on one of their most favorite indie darlings and want to see the Dream succeed. Absolutely fantastic match tonight. A lot of drama there, a lot of story, a lot of entertaining, and I friggin' loved it. The NXT Women's Title match was another very scary scenario for me as the match was playing out, but by the time this match concluded, I was very, very happy. This match was so tough to watch for me because both of these girls were really hanging and banging in there. They were throwing shots that were just vicious. Shayna Baszler is a goddamn beast. She's a woman beast. She is effectively the female equivalent of Samoa Joe. Look at how she reacted tonight. Look at everything that she did tonight. Tell me she don't remind you of Joe. I love it. I love it. I love the persona. I love how they turned everything around and made it all make sense on last week's Go Home show for this, because I wasn't initially looking forward to it. I didn't understand Shayna Baszler being inserted into the main event picture so quickly, but it made sense. And my biggest fear was that Baszler was going to win tonight. She was going to be gifted the championship way too soon, and it was going to send everything askew. Fortunately, that did not happen tonight. But the match ended up being very good. Very good. It was a little cheesy. The crowd got on it a little bit, calling bullshit towards the middle of this match when Ember Moon was feigning the injury to her arm. But when she hit the Eclipse on Shayna Baszler, she was unable to capitalize and make the 3 count because she snapped something in her arm. We had trainers coming out and this and that. And I thought for sure that this is going to be the loophole that they use to get that belt around Baszler's waist. But thank God that would not be the case. Regardless of the fact that Baszler had her locked an armbar onto Ember Moon that she was just not letting go. No matter how hard Ember tried, to get to the ropes or to roll through or to escape or to keep her arms from locking, Baszler would stay on top of her game and on top of the champion. So much so that Ember Moon would be able to roll her up and get her shoulders pinned to the mat for a 3 count, saving her championship. She got out of there by the skin of her teeth. What I liked about it, not only is that Ember Moon retained against a very viable opponent, but it actually made you believe that NXT Women's Championship means a lot to Ember Moon. She would rather risk her arm being ripped clear off her shoulder than to tap out and give up that title. That's how much that belt means to this woman. That's how much every belt should mean to everyone. Ember Moon cemented herself as a star tonight. Absolute star. You know, she was somewhat in the shadow of Asuka. And you know what? Somewhat's not even the right word. She was definitely in Asuka's shadow. The first champion since the Empress of Tomorrow left undefeated. And this moment puts her immediately right up in that category. She was going up against the toughest, most badass chick she's ever faced. Somebody with no conscience, with no remorse. In there to hurt people, and all she wants is that title. Both women effectively building the title up to mean the best and to be the most important thing about this match. And the way the match played out continued to do that. And the way it ended made it look just like that. And then to put a cherry on top, you got Shayna Baszler with a post-match attack, locking her up from behind, not letting go of the champion, setting up the rematch, which just might be when Ember Moon drops this title to Shayna Baszler, maybe at TakeOver Weekend during WrestleMania. We'll have to wait and see on that as well. Aleister Black, Adam Cole, Extreme Rules grudge match, like I said, did the Extreme moniker proud. There was a lot of fantastic spots in this match. Another one of those matches that are very hard to call because you don't want to look down to take notes because everything that's happening is just so damn amazing. So good. This match was. I wasn't expecting it to be this good. I don't know why. I should have had more faith in it. But this was the first time we were going to see an Extreme Rules match. I did not know what the parameters of the match were really going to be, what they were truly going to be allowed to do. But some of the stuff that happened tonight, wow, you guys, just absolutely wow. For example, the springboard moonsault by Aleister Black that in mid-air, and when they showed it in slow motion, it was absolutely beautiful. He got caught as he was coming around by a kendo stick to the midsection, delivered with tremendous force. As were almost every shot during this match. Tremendous force. But let's just take a pause for a moment, because there is one thing I do not like. And you see this a lot in Extreme Rules matches, TLC matches, and things like that. When a wrestler is throwing a chair, or is holding a chair, and then places it, obviously, in front of their face to absorb the shot, or to take the super kick, or how we saw tonight, I don't understand why you would not move the chair away from your face. It makes it awkward for your brain to wrap the logic around, because you see the guy catch the chair. You see him, I say the guy, you don't know who I'm talking about. You see Aleister Black catch the chair while he's on the top rope. He sees Adam Cole coming, and instead of swinging the chair or throwing it away, he puts it where it's got to be and then puts his head there. Now, I know it's pro wrestling and you got to do your spots, right? And you got to try to make it at least look, casual, convincing. Adam Cole would do the same thing later on in the match. He would have the chair and he would position it right in front of his face and then put his face there way too soon. So it's very obvious that they're taking these cues. But That's just me being me and nitpicking at the performance. But other than that stupid little thing that I'm picking on, like I said, absolutely great match. Adam Cole's hand was bleeding. I did not see where it happened or how it happened, but it did require the doctors to come check it out. There was just blood everywhere. I couldn't figure it out. Then I finally seen it was coming from his hand. And thinking he's probably going to need stitches. It was bleeding so bad. I'm still curious to see exactly what it was. At one point, Adam Cole would set up 2 chairs in the middle of this ring and set them back to back so that the spines of the chairs were exposed. And he was planning on putting Aleister Black right on the top of them. But Aleister Black would turn the tables on him and would suplex him into the spine of the chairs. That made me cringe so bad. Like, I couldn't even get over it. I was just sitting on my couch like, oh, God, couldn't take it. Just like I couldn't take when Aleister Black double stomped Adam Cole through the announce table. I don't even still physically know how he did it without shattering the man's spine in 2. A lot of very, very awesome spots in this match. Adam Cole would look to end this match by taking Aleister Black out with a steel chair once and for all. But upon pulling the trigger on that chair shot, he would be met in the face with a black mass. 1, 2, 3. Aleister Black wins this match and moves on. I actually thought Adam Cole was going to win this match and that Aleister Black would move on to the main roster. But that definitely does not seem to be the case. We've seen EC3, so now we know for sure he will not be in the Royal Rumble as he is joining the cast of NXT, which is fantastic. And we talked about Gargano and Almas at the beginning of this thing. Another one of these matches that you just can't talk about. You can't talk about it. It was so good. Your emotions were so amped up. You were frothing at the mouth for Johnny Gargano to win. I know you were. I was. I was on the edge of my seat. Waiting and waiting and waiting for a moment that would never come. And that is my only complaint. This was a 5-star quality match. Dave Meltzer wants to go out and call things 6 stars. Then this has got to be a 6-star match. Easily as good as Okada Omega. This match was so back and forth. So back and forth. I did not know how it was going to end. I really didn't. And I was hoping, with all hope, that Johnny Wrestling would come out. I mean, everything was set up perfectly. Everything was built to perfection. The story was perfect. Candice LeRae's signing happened at the perfect time. She was sitting ringside. Her involvement. Essentially, this matchup, by Gargano not winning, was really only about the debut of Candice LeRae. A 5-star match like that. The debut of Candice LeRae and the return of Tommaso Ciampa. All wrapped up in this 5-star ball of a match. Which had the wrong outcome. It had the wrong ending. Johnny Gargano should be your NXT champion right now. And now, he should be en route to fighting Tommaso Ciampa for the championship. Have something at stake. I just don't understand it. A lot of people are saying that he should have cost him the match, and that's what I truly believe. But it still would have been just as good if Johnny Gargano would have won the championship and now Tommaso Ciampa's so pissed that he comes out to beat him up in his greatest triumph. In the time of your greatest victory, I'm going to be the man to bring you down. But not only am I going to bring you down, but I'm going to take your belt. And I'm going to do it in front of your wife. How you like them apples, Will? Johnny. That's what I would have done. But what do I know? I'm just a wrestling fan. I'm just a smart mark, right? I don't know what I'm talking about. NXT was fucking amazing tonight. It really was. With that one small caveat at the end. If I don't bring it down the way I do, then I'm not being true to myself. I'm not being true to you guys. And I have to tell you is how I see it. That's how I see it. Match was great. Wrong winner. Bad ending. Missed opportunity. Rare mistake. by NXT. But that, you guys, is your NXT Takeover review and results show from the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget again to subscribe to this channel. If you enjoyed today's show, don't forget to smash that thumbs up, super kick it, make it hold a chair in front of its face, and then super kick it, and make sure that everybody obviously sees it. And then share this video with all your wrestling buddies. Come back for more, because we are just getting started this weekend. We haven't stopped all week long. Tomorrow is the Royal Rumble, and the enjoyment of the weekend is probably over. So to bring you guys some more enjoyment, don't forget to check out, before you guys watch the Royal Rumble, I have got my 5 most wanted Women's Royal Rumble surprise entries that probably will not happen. That's a great show. Go check that one out. We did the subscription box showdown. That went up live this morning. And we have everything else you need in all of sports entertainment. All the stories that hit this week, from Enzo Amore all the way to EC3 and more. Just make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash that thumbs up, and share this video with your friends. I said that already. I'm sorry. I'm tired. We are burning hard at both ends right now. And I got to get ready, because tomorrow's the Rumble, and I am ready to rumble. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is Blue, the Snowball Microphone. This has been your official Sledgehammer TV NXT Philadelphia review and results. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow for the Rumble. Have a good night.